I died on my wedding day, choking on the bitter taste of cyanide slipped into my champagne flute by the one person who'd sworn to be my maid of honor. My sister, Lila, smiled as I convulsed on the marble floor of the Plaza Hotel's grand ballroom, her eyes gleaming like she'd finally won the family crown she'd always craved. And in that final, gasping moment, as the world blurred to black, I heard Mom's voice cutting through the chaos. "Mackenzie, you're always so dramatic. It's just a little spill." But it wasn't a spill. It was murder. And now, somehow, I'm back, 30 years old again, heart pounding in my chest like a war drum, staring at my reflection in the bathroom mirror of my cramped Brooklyn apartment, 3 months before the wedding that killed me. The date on my phone reads June 15th, 2025. My hands tremble as I grip the sink, the cold porcelain grounding me in this impossible second chance. I remember every betrayal, Lila's whispers to my fiancé, Ethan, planting seeds of doubt, Mom's endless favoritism, calling Lila the golden child, while I scraped by on scholarships and side hustles. They thought I was weak, the overlooked middle sister who wouldn't fight back. But death has a way of sharpening your edges. This time, I'm not just surviving the wedding, I'm burning it all down. The first thing I do is call off the rehearsal dinner venue. No, that's too subtle. I need to start small, test the waters, remind myself this isn't a dream. I scroll through my contacts. There's Lila's name, beaming from a selfie we took last Christmas, her arms slung around me like we're best friends. God, the lies we tell ourselves. In my first life, she'd been plotting for months, hacking my emails to accidentally forward flirty messages from an ex to Ethan, staging breakdowns to steal my spotlight at family gatherings. And Mom? She enabled it all, gaslighting me into thinking I was paranoid. Lila's just stressed. "Kenzie, you're overreacting." Famous last words. I text Ethan instead. "Hey babe, craving pizza tonight? Forget the kale salad. Let's do real New York." His reply pings back instantly. "Hell yes." "You okay? Sounded off this morning." "Off. Try resurrected." I force a laugh emoji. But inside, rage simmers. Ethan was innocent in the end, blissfully unaware until the paramedics wheeled me out. But cracks were there, his late nights at the firm, the way he'd pull away when Lila visited. She wanted him, my life, everything. And she'd taken it, framing me as the unstable one who took her own life in the aftermath. The headlines were brutal. Heiress's sister dies tragically at wedding. Mental health crisis? Our family's old money from Dad's real estate empire turned it into a spectacle, burying the truth under NDAs and therapy sessions for the grieving survivors. I step out into the humid June air, the Brooklyn streets alive with the honk of yellow cabs and the sizzle of halal carts. My sublet is a fifth-floor walk-up in Williamsburg, worlds away from the Upper East Side penthouse where Mom and Lila hold court. In my first life, I'd clawed my way up, landing a junior editor gig at a glossy mag, only for Lila to sabotage it by leaking a fabricated story about my erratic behavior. This time, I won't wait for her games. I hail a cab to the family brownstone on 74th Street. Time to stir the pot. Mom answers the door in her signature cashmere twin set, pearls gleaming like armor. "Kenzie, what a surprise." "Lila's just popped in for lunch." Of course she has. I hug her stiffly, inhaling the familiar Chanel No. 5 mixed with the faint bitterness of resentment. The foyer drips with old money, crystal chandelier, Persian rugs, Photos of us girls lined up like porcelain dolls, Lila front and center, me faded in the back. We settle in the sunroom, sunlight filtering through gauzy curtains onto a spread of artisanal cheeses and rose. Lila's there, legs crossed in Lululemon, scrolling her phone with that effortless poise that always made me feel like the frumpy one.
Sis,
You look rested. Wedding jitters. I sip the wine, carefully. No toasts yet, and smile. Actually, I'm buzzing. Ethan and I were thinking of switching venues. Something edgier, like a rooftop in Bushwick. What do you think, Lila? You'd kill it in neon bridesmaid gear. Her laugh is a tinkling bell, but her eyes narrow. Bushwick?
Mom.
Tell her that's slumming it. The plaza is tradition, Grandma's wedding. Yours. My next year. My next year? In my first life. She'd announced her engagement to some tech bro 6 months after my suicide, wearing my veil like a trophy. Mom pats Lila's hand. Kenzie. Honey. The plaza's booked. Deposits are non-refundable. Don't overreact. It's your big day. There it is, the phrase that haunted my eulogy. I set down my glass, leaning forward. Overreact?
Mom.
Remember when Dad's will got read? How Lila forgot to mention the codicil that cut my inheritance because she thought I was ungrateful for not going to Yale like her? Silence drops like a guillotine. Lila's fork hovers midair. Mom flushes. That was a misunderstanding. Lila was just protecting the family. Protecting. The word twists in my gut. The real secret, the one that festered like an open wound, was Dad's death 5 years ago. Official story: heart attack during a board meeting. But I knew better. I'd found the emails on his old laptop, hidden in an encrypted folder. Lila, then 25 and fresh out of an Ivy League MBA, begging him for a bigger stake in the company to fund her startup. When he refused, citing her impulsive decisions, her replies turned venomous. You'll regret this,
Dad.
Blood isn't thicker than ambition. Then, the autopsy I'd bribed a contact to leak, elevated potassium levels, consistent with sabotage. I'd confronted her once, whispered it over coffee, and she'd laughed it off. Paranoid much. Kenzie, stick to your little articles. Mom, shut it down. Stop overreacting. Your father's at peace.
Now.
In this reborn moment, I watch Lila's composure crack, just a flicker. Kenzie, that's ancient history. Why drag it up now? Because history repeats if you let it. I stand, grabbing my bag. Think about the venue change.
Mom.
Or maybe I'll just elope. Save us all the drama. As I leave, their voices murmur behind me. Lila's sharp. Mom's soothing. Phase 1, plant the seed. Let them squirm. Question if I've changed. But deep down, I know Lila won't stop. She's a predator, scenting weakness. And my wedding? It's going to be her funeral pyre. Back in Brooklyn, Ethan greets me at the door with a greasy pizza box and a kiss that still sparks like our first date in grad school. He's all golden retriever energy, tousled brown hair, button-down rolled to his elbows. That dimpled grin that made me say yes despite the family chaos. You vanished after that text. Everything good with your mom? I pull him onto the couch, straddling his lap, needing the anchor of his warmth. Just the usual. Lila wants to redecorate the aisle in her image. I trace his jaw, memorizing him. In my first life, grief twisted him. He drank too much. blamed himself for not seeing my despair. This time, I'll shield him. We eat cross-legged on the floor, laughing over dumb memes. But my mind races. Tomorrow, I start digging. The laptop, Dad's old one, is still in storage at the brownstone. If I can get it, prove the tampering, expose Lila before she strikes. But proof isn't enough. Revenge needs teeth. And teeth? That means decisions no sane person makes, hacking her accounts. Maybe even a little blackmail. Controversial? Hell yes. But after dying at her hand, morality's a luxury I can't afford. Night falls, and sleep evades me. I lie awake. Ethan snores a soft rhythm, replaying the death throes. The ballroom spun, guests in tuxes blurring into faceless judges. Lila knelt beside me, feigning horror, her diamond earrings, my wedding gift to her, catching the light as she whispered, "Finally, sis. Your mess is mine now." Mom hovered, phone in hand, dialing 911 with one hand while patting Lila's back with the other. "It's okay, baby.
She's gone.
Let it go. Let it go." The hypocrisy burns. Dad's death was her first kill, mine the second to secure the empire. The company, Ellsworth Properties, worth millions, was always Lila's obsession. She'd clawed her way to VP, sleeping her way through board meetings if rumors held. I wanted none of it, content with my words on a page. But she saw me as the threat, the one who could inherit and dismantle her throne. Dawn breaks gray and drizzly. I slip out early, heading to a cyber cafe in Midtown, old school. No traces. There, I set up a burner email, posing as an anonymous tipster to a PI firm I remember from my journalism days. Investigate Lila Ellsworth, financial discrepancies. Ellsworth Properties.
Circa 2020.
Focus on potassium supplements ordered under alias. It's a long shot, but in my first life, that trail led nowhere because I was too scared to push. Now,
Fear's dead.
by noon, the PI bites, $5,000 retainer. Discreet. I transfer from a hidden savings account, proceeds from selling Mom's unwanted heirlooms last month. Guilt nips, but survival trumps sentiment. Ethan texts, "Lunch? Miss you." I reply with a heart, but detour to the brownstone again. Mom's out at Pilates. Lila at the office. The storage room in the basement is a tomb of forgotten luxuries, ski gear from Vail trips. My old prom dress. Dad's laptop sits in a dusty box. Password unchanged, his birthday.
The fool.
It powers up with a whine. Files intact. There, the emails. Timestamped March 2020. Lila's pleas escalating to threats. "If you don't sign over the shares, I'll make sure you regret it." Family first, right? And the order confirmation from an online pharmacy, potassium chloride, enough to spike a man's levels fatally. No direct proof, but enough for reasonable doubt. I copy it all to a USB. Heart hammering. This is leverage. But using it, that means destroying the family name, dragging Dad's memory through the mud. Controversial as hell, airing dirty laundry in the press, maybe even tipping off the DA. Mom would disown me. Ethan might leave. But Lila killed for less. Fair's fair. I pocket the drive and head out, but not before rifling Lila's old room upstairs. Jackpot, a hidden drawer in her vanity, stuffed with Polaroids from our childhood, me pushed into the pool, Labeled Clumsy Kenzie. Dad's obituary clipping with mine now scrawled in red marker.
Sick bitch.
I snap photos on my phone. Fuel for the fire. Afternoon bleeds into evening. Over burgers with Ethan at a dive bar in the East Village. I broach the venue switch again. Babe. The plaza feels haunted. Like bad juju from family crap. He squeezes my hand, ketchup on his thumb. Your call?
Kenzie.
As long as I'm at the end of the aisle, I'm good. But Lila's been texting me about centerpieces. Girls got opinions. My blood runs cold. Texting him, already? Show me. He pulls up the thread. Innocent stuff, floral arrangements, playlist suggestions. But laced with emojis. Too familiar. Can't wait to see you two tie the knot. Ethan, you're gonna look so hot in that tux. Face blowing a kiss, my vision tunnels. In my first life, those texts turned flirty fast. Seeds of an affair that never bloomed because I died first. This time, I'll weed them out. That night, alone while Ethan's at a client dinner, I crack open my laptop. Time for digital warfare. I download a simple tracker app, nothing fancy. Just enough to mirror Lila's emails via a phishing link disguised as a wedding vendor invoice.
Send. Wait.
By midnight, it pings. Access granted. Her inbox is a viper's nest. Memos to shady accountants. Cooking books at the company. Voicemails from a lover, Lila. Baby, when are you dumping the dead weight? Dead weight.
Me.
Deeper, a folder labeled Kenzie Files. Screenshots of my therapy notes, stolen from my doctor's portal, twisted to paint me as bipolar. Suicidal. Plans for the wedding sabotage. Slip it in the toast flute. Mom will cover. Cyanide sourced from a chem lab contact. Innocuous as rat poison. Tears burn, but I swallow them. No time for weakness. I compile a dossier. Emails. Photos. The works. Tomorrow, I confront, not explode, but surgical. Invite her for sister bonding, lay traps. Let her confess on record. Mic hidden in my necklace.
But doubt creeps.
Is this me? Or the ghost of vengeance? Ethan's words echo, you're my rock.
Kenzie.
Steady. If I go nuclear, do I become the monster? The decision gnaws, expose quietly. Save the family facade? Or go public? Damn the fallout. Controversy brews in my veins. American as apple pie and pitchforks. Truth at any cost. July unfurls like a fever dream. New York sweltering under a heat wave that mirrors the boil in my chest. Lila takes the bait on my invite. Coffee at a quiet spot in Soho. Away from Mom's prying eyes. I arrive early. Necklace cam rolling. Heart a jackhammer. She sweeps in. Designer shades perched on her head. Ordering a $12 oat milk latte like it's nectar. Kenzie, you look fierce. What's the emergency powwow? Her smile's a blade.
Sheathed.
I stir my black coffee. Casual. Just wedding stuff.
And. Us.
I found Dad's laptop. The emails. Her cup pauses midair. What emails? Kenzie. If this is about that old inheritance drama. Potassium chloride order. March 2020. Timestamped the day before his heart attack. I slide my phone across. The confirmation glaring. Color drains from her face. But she recovers with a scoff. Fabricated. You think I'd hurt Dad? You're unhinged. Sis. Mom was right. You overreact. The mic catches it all. The hitch in her voice. The way her fingers whiten on the cup.
I lean in.
Then explain the Kenzie files on your server. My therapy records? Plans for my champagne. She freezes, then laughs. Hi.
Brittle.
Hacked? Some intern's prank. Look, I love you, but you're spiraling. Let's tell Mom together. Get you help. Help. The word that locked me in sessions. Doped on pills. While she thrived. I pocket the phone.
Sure.
Family meeting tonight. Her nod is too eager. Trap sprung. But as I walk away, unease prickles. She's too calm. What counter-move? By evening, the brownstone hums with tension. Mom's in the kitchen, fussing over salmon en croûte, Dad's favorite, ironic. Ethan arrives, oblivious, kissing my cheek. Babe, you good? Texted cryptic. Later, I murmur, clipping the mic back on. Lila descends the stairs like a queen, glass of Pinot in hand. Family therapy time. Kenzie's got theories. Mom sighs, pouring wine. Kenzie, if this is about the will again. I hit play on my phone, the Soho audio filling the room. Lila scoff. My questions, her deflection. Ethan's brow furrows. Mom's hand flies to her throat. Lila, what is this? Mom's voice wavers. Lila spins on me. Deep fake. She's gaslighting you.
Mom.
After everything I've done, running the company while she plays house. Ethan stands. Kenzie, what's going on? This sounds insane? That's the point. I pull the USB, plugging into Mom's ancient desktop. Files cascade. Emails.
Photos.
The cyanide receipt masked as lab supply. The room erupts. Mom gasps at the potassium order. Lila.
No.
Your father. Lila lunges for the drive, but Ethan blocks her. What the hell? Lila, this is sick. She whirls, eyes wild. You don't get it. Dad was cutting me out for her, the screw-up who couldn't even graduate without drama. I deserved it. The company, Ethan, all of it. Her gaze flicks to him.
Hungry.
Confession pours. The tampering. The whispers to him about my instability. The poison planned as my exit to clear her path. Mom crumples.
Sobbing.
My girls.
How?
I feel no triumph. Just hollow victory. You chose her.
Mom.
Every time I cried wolf, you called me dramatic. This is the overreaction you feared. Sirens wail outside, my anonymous tip to the cops. Timed perfectly. Doors burst open.
Detectives swarming.
Lila shrieks as cuffs click. Her empire crumbling in real time. Kenzie.
You bitch.
I'll rot in hell first. As they're dragging her out, she spits the twist I'd half suspected. Ask Mom about the affair. Dad knew. That's why he froze me out. She poisoned the well long before I did. Mom blanches, collapsing into a chair. Ethan pulls me close, but I step back, staring at her. What affair? Tears stream. With your uncle.
It was a mistake.
Dad found out. Threatened divorce. Lila. She must have. Betrayal layers on betrayal.
Mom.
Complicit? The family rotten to the core. Cops haul Lila away. But the real unraveling's just begun. Ethan whispers. We can fix this. Kenzie. Start fresh. But as I watch Mom shatter, Dad's ghost heavy in the air, I wonder, is revenge the hook or the noose? The wedding's off, the plaza tainted. Yet in the wreckage, clarity dawns. I'm free. Not happy, not whole, but alive. And that's the cruelest twist. Dying taught me to live without them. Weeks blur into a haze of depositions and tabloid frenzy. Ellsworth empire crumbles. Daughter accused in father's death. Sisters near murder. Lila's lawyer spins suicide attempts. But the evidence, my dossier. The mic tapes seals her fate. Arraigned for manslaughter and attempted murder. She's remanded without bail. Her Lululemon days traded for orange jumpsuits. Mom sells the brownstone. Retreating to a condo in Florida. Our calls unanswered. Guilt or shame, doesn't matter. The golden child tarnished us all. Ethan and I elope on a whim, City Hall. Rainy Tuesday in August.
Just us and a bodega cake.
No white dress. No hijack toasts. His vows are simple. I choose you. Every version. The dramatic. The steady. The survivor. Mine choke out. I choose us. No ghosts attached. But ghosts linger. Late nights. I wake sweating. Tasting almonds. Therapy helps. Real this time. No Lila sabotage. I pitch my story to a podcast. Anonymized. Reborn from betrayal. It blows up. Offers flood in. Book deal.
TED Talk invites.
Controversy sells. And damn if it doesn't feel like justice. One crisp October morning. Walking Central Park with Ethan. Coffee steaming. I spot a headline on a vendor stand. Lila Ellsworth pleads guilty. 25 to life. No appeal. No drama. Just bars and regret. Mom calls that night. First in months. Kenzie. I'm sorry. For everything. Her voice cracks. The enabler stripped bare. Forgive. I pause. Wind rustling leaves outside. Maybe someday. But I'm done overreacting. I'm just reacting now. We hang up. The line dead, but not bitter. In this second life, I've learned family isn't blood. It's the ones who stay when the poison spills. Ethan snores beside me. The city hums alive. No hijacks. No white lies. Just me, Mackenzie Ellsworth. No longer the overlooked. Reborn. Unbowed. And finally, fiercely free.